I love it when it rains. Not so much for making videos, but a fresh spring rain seems to make my garden come alive. And why not? Water is a massive component that is so important to nearly every life function of our plants. But for something so vital, water is one of those things that rides the line between necessary and too much of a good thing. Hi, I'm Jeff from the Ripe Tomato Farms. Welcome to another episode of the Garden Quickie, the show where in 2 minutes or less, we break down all the gardening basics. And today's episode is all about watering. Or more specifically, overwatering and the dangers of. I got 3 reasons not to do it. Time's short as always, so let's get into it. Plants use water for everything. They use it for structure, growth, chemical reactions, and nutrient transport. Without enough water, your crops will die, no question. But if it's so vital, how can too much water actually harm our plants? Well, it does this in a few ways. First, it physiologically changes the plants, namely the roots. Plants get nearly all of their water by uptaking it through their roots. And they do this by the many root hairs that branch off from the root tips. Excess water actually kills these root hairs off, damaging the plant's ability to uptake water. So ironically, too much water actually becomes not enough. The second way that too much water is really bad for our plants is root rot and the creation of an anaerobic environment. Roots uptake water for the plants, yes, but they also need oxygen. Down in our soil profile, there's gaps between the rocks, minerals, and organic matter. These gaps are filled with an alternating ratio of air and water, ideally in a perfect balance. Too much water, however, fills in all the air gaps, suffocating the plants, causing them to suffer or even die. Further to that, the excessive soggy conditions allows for the proliferation of certain funguses, and it's these certain funguses that actually attack plant roots. So really, it's a double whammy. And finally, the third reason that excess water is so bad for your plants, particularly container plants like this strawberry here, or even your indoor house plants, is that all that watering, even with perfect drainage and aeration, is constantly washing the nutrients and organic matter out of your soil. With the soil being leached of all its goodness, all its minerals, nutrients, and organic matter, how can the plants possibly thrive? When you break it down, gardening is all about a perfect balance of all the elements necessary for healthy plants, and it often comes back to the right application of water. And speaking of coming back, hopefully you'll come back for the next episode of the Garden Quickie. Thanks for watching, guys. And hey, if garden quickies are your thing, be sure to click on this playlist here as we explore and solve more growing issues in 2 minutes or less.